Okay, now here we are. Sorry about that. I just want to continue my story about my son's 2017 Ford Mustang. It's a V6 engine, and like I said, he had that performance problem, misfire. I thought it was maybe even a timing chain and so forth and so on, whatever. And I figured out that it was the right passenger side catalytic converter that was plugged solid, and I was amazed at the amount of problem I had with that engine and how well it ran after I replaced the catalytic converter. It was beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Anyway, you learn something new every day. Now, the follow-up about the water leak. This thing was leaking water into the car for like over a year. You know, I'm hearing about it. I guess he wasn't using the car much. He was sitting, and he had some trouble with the door locks too. I think that sort of developed after he noticed that he had a water leak. And anyway, I ended up, taking the next step to look at the electrical part. And the first thing I looked at was the body control module, because he says he changed the batteries and the key fobs, and he had somebody, a locksmith, come to see if they were okay, and they charge him, $200 and for basically nothing. And he got fed up with it. And then the engine was running rough, and he brought it to me, which is fine. And I said, okay, well, we found the problem with the engine. Now I'm going to look at the electrical. When I took the body control module out, I opened it up, and I could see internally that it was corroded. You can see the corrosion in there. And I said, well, it must be the moisture inside, I don't know. The water, there was so much water in that car, you could smell it. And then I changed the body control module, didn't want to start. I had somebody come over. He spent 2-3 hours on it. He couldn't program it, didn't know what the hell was the matter with it. And then he finally got it so to a certain point that the car would start. I said, okay. Anyway, leave it like that. I'll see what I can do with it. Paid him $275 or $325, something like that, cash. So anyway, this guy was supposed to be like a mobile programmer, and I don't know, I had my doubts. So anyway, I told him, I said, well, you told me you were gonna, fix it, and it's not fixed. And it wasn't going well with him, so I just figured I'd cut him loose and let him go. Then I decided to change. There's a transceiver in the glove underneath the console. I changed that. Same shit. I changed the one in the trunk. There's another receiver there, radio receiver. I changed that. Then there's another one in the back window, which I changed that. Same thing. I had another guy come over to try to program it. He spent a day and a half on it. He was good enough. He didn't charge me anything because he didn't fix it. But anyway, in the end, he told me that I had to take it to Ford and get them to program it because you need the Ford scan tool. So I make an appointment with the dealer to take it over, drop the car off. He phones me after 2 days or whatever, and he says, okay, well, we got it programmed, but the only thing is that it doesn't start. You still got to put it into the cup holder. I said, is the locks working at least? And he goes, yes. He says, okay, so I'll come and pick it up for now. Maybe it's something in the wiring or whatever. So I go there, pay him $300 whatever, leave, go to use the key fob and it doesn't open the doors. Get in the car, locks don't work, nothing works. It's exactly the same as it was. I called the service advisor right there in the parking lot, and I told him, look, I thought you told me that the locks and they were working. I said, nothing works. It's exactly the same as I give it to you. But you charge me $300 and something or whatever. I said, he says, well, I'll talk to the technician and let you know. I said, well, I got to take the car for now anyway. If you told me you programmed it and the body control model programmed and it's good and the communication code is gone, I'll take it back and then, well, yeah, he says he programmed it. Okay. So I take it back to the shop. I scanned it, same shit. Communication, it was like a U2100 code. Nothing works. It's exactly the way it was. Then on the end, I said, you know, there's no information on Mitchell about this type of problem. There was a bulletin about the rear camera, whatever. I went into the trunk and I checked that. And I saw that the wires were broken. So I fixed those. And, I thought, okay, some of the communication codes were gone for the backup camera, but still the key fobs, the latch for the trunk, the car doesn't start unless it's in the cup holder. So I said, well, I called the dealer back and told him, look, the communication code is still there. You told me that you programmed it. And it says it's not initiated. So anyway, he says, okay, well, I'm still trying to talk with the tech guy. Okay, let me know. He does the phone. 2-3 days later, I said, you know what, I'm going to look at the wiring. Maybe it's something from the transmitter to the body control module. So I checked all the signal wires, communication, CAN bus, from all those 3 sensors and transmitters. They're all good. Everything is working. I started to figure out, well, you know what? I'm going to take another look at the connectors at the body control module and make sure they're okay. So I tried opening them all up. Some you can get in and they look good. Some you can't open. There was one big one. I opened it and it's a little plastic insert to keep the terminals in there. So I took that out. I was looking at it. It's a bigger one, and it's right where the water was running down. You can see a rust stain. And I said, I bet you any money that something's wrong with that connector there. So I look in there. And it seemed to look okay. So I wanted to take a picture of it. So I took a picture. And sometimes, I'm getting older. My vision is not that great. And it's amazing if you take a photo of a connector and blow it up, like I did with this one, you wouldn't believe it. It doesn't look anything like it's so corroded looking. I said, well, then you see, maybe this is what it is. So anyhow, I phoned Ford, tried to tell them what it was. It seems a big communication problem. The diagrams are not the greatest. It's a bit of a guessing game. And then you got to buy the front and the rear and join it, because you can't buy just the connector or a pigtail to repair it. So I said, you know what, I'm gonna bypass the connector and join the wires, and there's like 30 wires. And it's in a tough spot, my back, my knees, twisting your body around in there, trying to get it joined. So I finished all of them, got it all ready, and I go and I get the key fob, and guess what? The locks are working. And I tried the trunk pops, threw the key up on top of the dash, pushed the start button, bingo, everything's working. The only thing is that the tire sensor's on and it has to be programmed, reset. I guess because of the communication problem or whatever, we can do that. Took it for a road test, car runs good, backup camera is working, everything is working. So if you have any trouble, I had the windshield resealed too, by the way, and the guy tried to do it to get the window out of there without cracking it, and he broke it. And that was like another $300 or $400 for that. And put everything all back together. I put the whole interior was upside down. Put it all back together. Drove around. Everything is fine. Absolutely fine. And on the end, it really didn't have anything to do with programming. Nobody seemed to know what it was. I looked online, there was nothing there either. But I'm telling you, if you have any trouble and you have a water leak and the water's in the car on the passenger side and the key fobs and all this stuff, it doesn't work, do yourself a favor and take a look at the connector. It's a blue one. It's right on the right hand lower side, passenger side kick panel. Take that off. You're going to see it in there. Look at the female part of half of the connector. And I'll guarantee you that the thing is corroded. Anyway, thanks for your time. Hopefully this is going to help you out with your issue with your car. Seems to be a very common problem. It's all over the internet and nobody knows what it was. Until now, I figured it out. Please subscribe to the button below. I appreciate it. And thank you very much and have a great day.